Please welcome in the members of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus.
We're working towards voter registration, higher education, infrastructure, and many, many things that affects people of color. Indeed, we are just super excited that we're able to provide this great opportunity for scholarships. Higher education is really important, and the key to it is to provide scholarships for students that can't afford to do it on their own. We're going to provide scholarships to students at both Southern University and Grambling State University. We're super excited that we're able to do this each year just to help with that initiative to give them a chance to get an education through our HBCU programs.
It's real important that we have public support for this scholarship program for the Black Caucus. We have the opportunity to seed and feed into the lives of young African American males and females and give them an opportunity to grow and then go back and serve their communities.
So this morning we humbly and honorably are going to serve as your master and mistress of ceremonies, and we welcome you to the 37th Annual Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus Classic Jazz Brunch.
In our organizational structure, we decided that we focus on the pillars of the caucus, and that is education, health care, equal justice, and better quality of life for all. And of course, our lifeline is voter access, voter education, and voter opportunities. As we look through this year, we were able to help put forth some tangible legislation as well. Set about on a statewide listening tour where we visit across the state, had meaningful dialogue in the Lafayette area, Lake Charles, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, rounded out in Baton Rouge, our capital city. All of these meetings were absolutely amazing, and information flowing, and citizens asking, how can we help you advance the LLBC members' agenda? Well, we are going to keep coming to you so that we can get the best practices and give the best information as we both forge forward. We have given over $1 million over the years to worthy students, nonprofit organizations seeking to help to lift communities and our children. Here another reason why we are partnering with LA Capital Link chapter of Baton Rouge in providing one of the specialty awards today. Please know that we are never going to stop fighting in legislation for you and your family to have a better quality of life. All we ask and hope for is that you will never stop believing in us, and we won't stop working for you. Now, on behalf of the 36 members of the Legislative Black Caucus, we say, go Jags and go Tigers.
So this year, the Legislative Black Caucus's core concept is celebrating 45 years of turning dreams into reality. Our students emulate the mission of the caucus, which is to ensure opportunity for all in spite of their stations in life. Today's honorees reflect the essence of the Black Caucus, each demonstrating a fervent commitment to enhance the quality of life and promote economic and educational advancement in the communities that we serve. We honor Grambling State University and Southern University, who have given rise to a multitude of the world's greatest minds in service to mankind. We welcome the students, the alumni, and leaders of Southern University and Grambling State University to this auspicious event. The annual Jazz Brunch is the signature fundraiser for the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, earmarked purposely to provide scholarships to students throughout the LLBC districts across the state of Louisiana. Your presence this morning attests to the necessity of this mobile and noble tradition that has been in place.
As we celebrate this year's 37th Annual Bayou Classic Scholarship Jazz Brunch, we're also celebrating the 47th anniversary of the establishment of the caucus. The purpose of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus is to elevate the quality of life of African Americans through legislation, education, and economic development. Our priorities include implementing and promoting policies that allow all citizens fair and open access to education and economic opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a warm welcome to the presenting sponsor, Ochsner Health, represented by Ms. TONIA Moore, Director of Community Engagement, to bring some remarks.
Good morning. Thank you, President Aubrey. On behalf of 36,000 employees throughout Louisiana, Mississippi, and the Gulf Coast, Ochsner Health is proud to be the title sponsor for today's brunch. Part of our work is that part of our mission is to serve, to heal, innovate, educate. And we take pride in that, and part of what we're doing is trying to create a healthier state. And part of that healthier state is going to come from the partners and collaborations from this room and the continued partnerships that we've built and continue to make. So part of that, of course, with any organization, you have to have great leadership. And on today, we are welcomed and presented with our new CEO of Ochsner Health, Pete November. This is his 26th day on the job. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. And Pete has built a great executive team coming in. We have two of his executive members with us today. We have our Chief Diversity Officer, Deborah Grimes, with us. And we have our Chief Growth Officer, Corin Harper. Please stand and be recognized. And then all of the Ochsner Health team members from our Community and Public Affairs, Government Relations, and Community Health Centers, please be recognized at this time. We look forward to working with each of you, and we're also hosting some of the Reggie Lewis Scholars at our table, so thank you for visiting us. We're definitely putting our money and actions in the community and making sure that health is at the center of everything we do. Thank you. Enjoy the brunch. Thank you.
The next speaker certainly needs no introduction. He is a champion, he's a friend. He's been here every year since he's been in office, and he's one that we could count on. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome and present to our brunch this morning, the Honorable Governor, John Bel Edwards. Let us receive him properly.
Good morning, David. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. All right, Jason said in his prayer, it's gloomy outside. It ain't gloomy in here. We celebrating in here. I want to thank y'all for attending this wonderful event, helping us celebrate our tremendous public HBCUs here in Louisiana. I want to thank you for the invitation to be with you again this morning, and I want to especially welcome our new Southern president, President Shields, to this event, the first Bayou Classic for him as president of Southern, and of course to my longtime friend, President Rick Gallo. It's great to see you again as well. I want to thank also Representative PIERRE for his leadership of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus. I also want to recognize David Aubrey for the work that he does as chair of the foundation. And then, of course, you got the committee co-chairs, Representatives Adrian Fisher, you got Maxine Cormier, and really the entire LLBC for the work that you do for the state of Louisiana. The Bayou Classic is always a special event. This is the 49th, and I'm assuming that since it's not a real person, it'll actually turn 50. Most of the people I talk to, they say they're going to stay 49 forever, but next year it'll be 50. But this is a great event every year because it highlights the importance of our HBCUs. Obviously, it's great to recognize all the athletes, the tremendous musicians affiliated with the universities, and also to recognize the contributions they make in the academic world. I want to especially thank the Black Caucus this year and all the members of the legislature because we have in effect right now the best budget for higher education in the history of the state of Louisiana. And that certainly is true for our HBCUs as well. And it also included significant new investments in capital outlay and deferred maintenance. We're finally making tremendous progress and soon to open the new digital library, the only digital library at any institution of higher education in the state of Louisiana. That's going to be at Grambling State University. And at Southern, we also are working hard on the Ravine, Bluff, and Riverbank stabilization project, but we really have capital outlay investing in both of those universities and across the Southern system. We've also made significant advancements when it comes to GO grants. This is need-based aid for higher education. It is funded at the highest level ever in the state of Louisiana. None of this would happen, none of it, without the tireless advocacy of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus. So I appreciate their work. I appreciate their partnering with me and with my administration and the work they do in the Senate and in the House with all of their colleagues. And then finally this morning, I want to thank and congratulate all of the scholarship recipients. I know you're going to be named here shortly in the program, and you're going to receive a certificate from me in acknowledgement of your excellence, efforts, and achievements in being an outstanding student and a recipient of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus HBCU scholarship. So it is a great time, by the way, to be in higher education in Louisiana for the reasons that I just mentioned. It's also a great time to be coming out of college. We've got the lowest unemployment rate ever measured in our state. We are diversifying our economy thanks in large part to excellent universities like Grambling and Southern, focusing on a whole array of things, but including clean energy and cyber. And today, we are celebrating more than just a game. We're celebrating the next great chapter for our state. So thanks all of you again. God bless, go Jags, and go Tigers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's gloomy outside, but as the governor said, it isn't gloomy in here. And it isn't gloomy in the hearts and minds of great Louisianians who have endured so much for so long. To my dear friend, Chairman Pierre, to the entire Legislative Black Caucus. Now, I liked when you guys sat up here where everyone could see you, where you can be recognized visually and audibly for the incredible work that you do for Louisiana, but certainly for these two incredible institutions. So I'm going to ask my former colleagues, who I love with my whole heart, and as much as I love serving in Congress, I absolutely miss you guys. Give, first of all the members of Legislative Black Caucus, past and present, not future, past and present, please stand. Stand. Give them a hearty round of applause. Now, I'll ask that the members sit. Now I'd ask the rest of the audience to stand in honor of the Legislative Black Caucus, please. Because I will tell you, because I've been in those rooms, I've been in those halls, I know how hard they fight. I know when they go back to the budget table to ratchet out another million or two. Fortunately, we've had a good governor standing with us to make it happen. We've had good agency heads standing with us to make it happen. We've had solid boards on either side, and we've had outstanding members in the presidency of Grambling, President Grambling, going once, Rick, going twice, President of Grambling, Brother Shields, President Southern. Give these two outstanding dynamic brothers a round of applause. It is such an honor to be here always, to come and enjoy all the festivities. And it's an honor for me as a proud former member of the Legislative Black Caucus. And they told me no such thing as a former member, so I'm going to say a proud member of the Legislative Black Caucus, to go to D.C. and to fight. And so today I want to just rattle off a few things in the way of a federal update that I've been asked to do. We've closed more than 1,000 constituent cases of people having issues with road home, with idle grants, with Veterans Affairs, with passports, with issues. Give my staff a round of applause for doing an incredible job. We secured $7.62 million to save Southern University from slipping into the river. From slipping into the river. Protecting and saving that ravine means saving Southern University, and I couldn't have had a better partner in doing that than Governor John Bell Edwards and Dr. Sean Wilson. Give them both a round of applause. Members of the Senate, Senator Cleo Fields, and other members who worked so tirelessly to be a partner with me to make that happen, and General Russell Honore, who called us all together to first introduce the problem, and now we're fixing it. Give yourselves and give General a round of applause. Passed the CHIPS Act to make America a leader in manufacturing once again, building and making it here. Passed the Safer Communities Act, advocated for environmental justice improvements in EPA enforcement and air quality monitoring that were accepted by and implemented by the agency. Passed a bill to support small businesses so they can compete internationally, and added an extra year to make up for the lost time on people who are 8A certified. Making sure that those who missed out had an opportunity to recover those economic gains. Standing with the director of the Minority Business Development Association, our president, our director is right here, making it a permanent part of the Department of Commerce. So it will always be a part of funding that we have MDAs everywhere in our country, but starting right here at Southern University's Law Center. Protected toxic exposed veterans. Veterans that were exposed to toxic pits that heretofore had been ignored, had not been given the resources that they need to make sure that those individuals that to provide the greatest amount of comfort and safety for us should be able to access medical care when they were exposed to toxins while they were fighting for our country. We did that. We did that, and we hail to protect our veterans. We made Juneteenth a national holiday. And I'm embarrassed to say that we had to. I'm also embarrassed to say that we finally passed, embarrassed but proud, that after many, many, many failed attempts, we finally passed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act in our country. The governor talked about some significant increases in resources for HBCUs. In addition to passing an infrastructure bill that brought $1.2 trillion, that's trillion with a T, to our crumbling infrastructure. In addition to bringing broadband, the very first tranche of dollars to ever come from the federal government came where? To Louisiana. The very first dollars that came out came to Louisiana. Am I proud? Yes, I'm proud. I'm proud of our state. I'm proud of you. $2 billion for Ida relief. $2 billion with a B. And this is when it gets really good. Record funding for HBCUs in our country. $5.8 billion. $5.8 billion, the largest investment in HBCUs since the creation of HBCUs, with $211 million coming to Louisiana alone. $64 million for Southern University, $48 million for Grambling, $36 million for SUNO, $31 million for Xavier University, $18 million for Southern at Shreveport, $12 million for Dillard University. I think that deserves a round of applause. Because as the Legislative Black Caucus fights in Louisiana, the Congressional Black Caucus fights for you in our nation's capital. God bless you all. Have a fantastic Bayou Classic. God bless.
Well, good morning. I bring you greetings on behalf of the university, the place where everybody is somebody, Grambling State University. That's a good place to clap. Yeah, I certainly want to welcome and tell you how much I have appreciated getting to know President-Chancellor Shields since he took over in the middle of this year. He's an incredible educator. He has a great heart and certainly is someone that I have enjoyed working with thus far. And so President Shields, again, before this body, I certainly want to again welcome you and thank you for being a great partner for this weekend. Let me tell y'all, there's way more I want to say than I have time to say, so I'm going to try to keep this short because I know people get restless and start walking out, and I don't want you to do that on me. You know, having served in this body, I want you to know, members of the Legislative Black Caucus, how much we appreciate the work that you all do. While we're trying to educate young people and sometimes not so young people, you all are fighting for us. You're fighting battles that we never actually get to see, and so for that, I want to thank you. Again, I've been there and certainly can value and appreciate the work that you do. I also think it's important that, well, let me recognize my boss before I really get in trouble. Dr. Jim Henderson, President and CEO of the University of Louisiana System. Dr. Henderson, who's doing transformational work for the University of Louisiana System. Not only is he my good friend for a long time, the work that he and Dr. Claire Norris are doing with the Reginald F. Lewis Scholars is phenomenal. And the fact that they're going to take these young black men to France at the beginning of next year, and I think there are some Black Caucus members who are going to accompany them. That is transformational. To be able to travel internationally is something that these young men will appreciate for the rest of their lives. I want to thank the governor who recently invited President Shields and I, along with African American higher education leaders from across the state. And this is important. Never in the history of this state have we had a commissioner of higher education, chairman of the Board of Regents, chairman of the ULS system, chairman of the LSU system, and of course, chair of the Southern University system, presidents at Grambling, Southern, and LSU, all African American at this time under this governor. Let's give Governor John Bel Edwards a round of applause for that. That doesn't just happen. And Northwestern, oh, how could I forget Dr. Jones at Northwestern? Yes. And so, again, I think it's important for us to know that this is a great weekend. Despite whatever will happen at the game today, our students will benefit from your support this weekend. And there's two people I want to mention, and I'm going to get out of the way. Two names that you all probably have never heard, George Stubbs and Derek Price. They're the equipment managers for Grambling and Southern. They're the guys and the student workers that work with them who set up for the football team. They're lining up helmets and pads and cleats and all of that late into the night in an NFL facility. They're doing things, and the students who get a chance to work alongside of them are people that you'll never see the work that they're doing, but it's important because it is exposing our students to things, to life lessons that they will be able to carry with them for the remainder of their lives. So for all of those who are doing the work to support this and having our students, whether they're in the band, cheerleaders, dancers, ROTC, no matter what role they play in this, our TV Center students who get to work the cameras at the game and other events, I want to tell you how much we appreciate you all continuing to support Bayou Classic so that we can pass it on to our students as well. Last thing, I also want to recognize, and I know they'll be recognized later, Speaker of the House, Clay Shakespeare, as well as our Treasurer, John Schroeder. Thank you for all of your support that you continue to provide, both Grambling and Southern. And I just want to finally say, go Grambling.
Good morning. So, I know I'm standing in the way at the end of the program, so I'm going to try to be at least as brief as my colleague. Let me start by, it's my first Bayou Classic. I'm rapidly approaching the actual point of this in the football game, and I'm looking forward to that. But it's been a special time, a gathering of people who are very invested in our two institutions. I've actually got to spend more time with Dr. Gallo face-to-face, which has been a pleasure. I've got to see so many people who believe in the work that we do on our universities and support it. So my thanks to all the entities that are sponsoring this breakfast. My thanks to the governor who has set an example not just for Louisiana, but for the whole nation in investing in education, and in particular higher education. The future of this country is what we do with our children, and you have to believe in that, and you have to put your words into action. So I'm very appreciative of that. Of course, Southern and Grambling exist in large part because of the legislative Black Caucus in Louisiana. They fought for decades to make sure our two institutions survived and thrived. And today's iteration of that organization continues that. And I especially enjoy the fact that they host this brunch to directly support our students who are matriculating at our institutions, because that's why we exist. That's our core mission, is to support our students and ensure their success. And that is probably where Gallo and I both are most aligned. So, I also want to mention the last thing he said. I'm an old basketball player. In my senior year in high school, we went to state tournament, had a nice time, that kind of thing. But when I reflect back on those times, it is because it became clear to me that every one of those players that never played 30 seconds that year, every manager, every statistician, everybody had a role in the success of an institution. So it's real important to recognize everybody that works at an institution. They all contribute. Finally, I saw at least two of our Southern University Board of Supervisors here. If there's others that like them, stand. But John Bartholomew is here, and Raymond Fondell was here. Okay. They work tirelessly and support us, and I've learned a great deal from them, and I appreciate their support. I'm looking forward to the football game this afternoon, but mostly I'm looking forward to the memories of looking back on how invested such a broad swath of this state is invested in Southern University and Grambling State University. Thank you to the Legislative Black Caucus for hosting this event and supporting our students. Thanks. Go Jags.
Our purpose for being here today is to celebrate the achievements of our students. Video essays were submitted by some, and two unique celebrations are in recognition of the first generations, the first in their families to attend college, and the students who spent their formative years in foster care.
This year marks the second year our award recipients submitted their essays via video. Our essay award recipients were asked to expound on either the following: what it means to receive the Louisiana Black Caucus Scholarship, and how will the Louisiana Black Caucus Scholarship benefit me? Or, what community service projects have I participated in, and how did they help our community? Each recipient's video will be played prior to the receipt of their award.
All right. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Grambling State University Essay Award recipients are Ms. Keisha McMullen, Mr. Ganzimbi Zubari, and Mr. Morgan Patton.
Our Southern University recipients are Ms. Maya Jones, Mr. Kyle Davis, and Mr. Colby Kielson.
The student essay awardees, Grambling State University. Mr. Kenzimbi Zubari is currently a senior attending Grambling State University, majored in cybersecurity with a 4.0 grade point average. Mr. Zubari is an active member of campus with various student organizations such as the Earl Lester Honors College, Midwest Club, and is a member of the prestigious Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. In Mr. Zubari's free time, he enjoys playing the guitar, spending time with friends, and exploring ethical hacking and cybersecurity activities. Mr. Kenzibi Zubari. The second awardee, Ms. Catrice McMullen, is currently in her junior year at Grambling State University, majoring in elementary education. Her passion for education developed at an early age. Ms. McMullen has been recognized on local, state, and national levels for her excellence in schoolwork. In 2021, she was a scholar for the Thurgood Marshall Fund Leadership Institute. In 2022, she was a Moguls in the Making contestant and a member of the Earl Lester Cole Honors College. After graduation, Ms. McMullen plans to teach and eventually establish a creative and performing arts academy for underserved and underprivileged youth. She is also a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ms. McMullen lives by the famous quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., "If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain." Ms. Catrice McMullen. The third awardee, Mr. Morgan Patton Jr., is currently attending Grambling State University. He is a kinesiology major with a concentration in sports management. Mr. Patton is a member of the Student Government Association, FSUB, E-Board, NAACP, TCA President, GGSA, and National Society of Leadership and Success. He is also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. In his free time, he likes to listen to music, work out, and buy shoes. Mr. Patton's favorite quote is, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything," by Malcolm X. Mr. Patton.
And to our Southern University honorees, Ms. Maya Jones is a third-year student at Southern University A&M College, where she's doubling in majors of criminal justice and political science. Her interest in politics and criminal justice began when she had the opportunity to participate in teen court while attending Durham School. Ms. Jones also worked for the mayor's office in Baton Rouge, where she engaged with constituents in the mayor's office as well as other elected officials. Upon completion of her graduate studies, Ms. Jones aspires to attend law school and become a civil rights attorney. Her favorite scripture is Proverbs 31:30. "Charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised." Ms. Maya Jones. Our next recipient, Mr. Kyle Davis, is from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, and currently attends Southern University A&M College, majoring in electrical engineering, and is expected to graduate in 2023. Mr. Davis typically spends his Saturdays mentoring youth through the 100 Black Men Metro Baton Rouge Association by way of the Collegiate 100 of Southern University. One of Mr. Davis's goals is to lead and expose the generation of African Americans to sustainable professional opportunities within the STEM field. He his favorite quote is, "How many people you bless is how your success is measured." Mr. Kyle Davis. Our next recipient is Mr. Colby Kilson. He is a second-year political science major from White Castle, Louisiana, attending Southern University A&M College. Currently, he is the president of Southern University Department of Band's Undergraduate Student Retention and Graduation Committee. The goal of this committee is to focus on ensuring the success of all student musicians through daily study halls, student counseling, and workshops. It is his motto, "Jukes set the standard," emphasizing 4 basic principles: to be just, unique, knowledgeable, and educated. In addition, he also spearheads the band's cleaning committee. I need him to come to my house. After graduation, Mr. Kilson plans to pursue his master's degree in education, followed by his PhD in education. I present to you Mr. Colby Kilson. Education continues to be a great equalizer. In recognition of this fact, we are graciously awarding students who are first generation, the first in their family to attend college. Likewise, in conjunction with the Untitled Chapter of the Links Incorporated, the caucus also recognizes students who were once in foster care and are currently matriculating through our prospective universities. The first generation and former foster care student recipients are Mr. Cedric Anderson from Southern University, Ms. Taylor Day of Grambling State University, and former foster care, Ms. Vanessa Brown.
Well, so let's give a round of applause to the 2022 Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus Scholarship recipients once again.
Just also want to recognize our first African American woman president of the Louisiana Municipal Association, Mayor Jennifer Vadrine, and she's a praying woman, and she had an election, and the results left her moving on to the next chapter of her life. But before she left, she had the Louisiana Municipal Association Executive Committee to make sure the bylaws stated that once you're elected, you serve your year. So for those who are worried, she will serve her year as president of the Louisiana Municipal Association. And she's going to serve us well in that capacity, and we look forward to her next chapter. In addition to that, we also are pleased today to have a table of African American mayors who are with us. And if they would stand at this time and be recognized, we want to thank them for their leadership, and look forward to working with each and every one of those African American mayors who have been elected to the state of Louisiana.
Thank you, Senator Boudreaux, and this is the part of the program that you're all gonna like, because we're about to get out of here. As legislators, we represent our district and also have to balance those needs and responsibility with that of the state in total. This is possible by working with our statewide leaders and also all local elected officials. At this time, I would like all elected officials to please stand and be recognized. Thank you, Governor, for standing this time. You're still elected. And you didn't make a joke about me this year. Appreciate that. This event would not have been possible without you, our sponsors and supporters. At this time, I would like all the volunteers to please stand and be recognized. All the volunteers that we have with us today. Thank you for giving of your time to make the 37th annual event a success. Again, we would like to thank each of you for your attendance and support of the 2022 Jazz Brunch. Our students will continue to be our greatest asset. How we protect and support them in becoming strong citizens and supporters of the laws of the land begins with education. Thanks again for your past and continued support. Our joint effort enabled us to give and support more. We look forward to seeing you all next year. May God bless you, may God keep you, and go Tigers.
Thank you all. This was the largest attendance that we've had in the history of this brunch. And I want to thank each and every one of you all for attending. But let's give it up for those students that received these scholarships, because that's what it's about. Kids receiving scholarships to continue their education. And again, I want to thank all of you for attending. And I will say, go Jags! Thank you.
It's really important that we have public support for this scholarship program for the Black Caucus. We have the opportunity to seed and feed into the lives of young African American males and females and give them an opportunity to grow and then go back and serve their communities.
It has been wonderful. We're just super excited about the attendance today. People are excited about being able to get out again and socialize and deal with whatever issues that affects them in their homes. And today we're able to provide an opportunity for them to see this great university and the universities that provide higher education for students of color.